Morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Ankush here from Alif Consulting. Today we are going to talk about Microsoft Defender for Cloud, which is also known as a Azure Security Center. In this video, we are going to cover about the basic introduction about the services. We are going to cover about the hybrid security monitoring. We're going to cover about management and the workload protection. We're going to cover the SKU. We're going to show you how you can combine the environments, what is the cost going to be, and at the end I'll show you how exactly you can enable it for your Azure subscription, or how exactly it's going to be show you the recommendations and rest of the things which you can do with the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So Microsoft Defender for Cloud is a security tool. It basically used to manage the security, right? So uh, any kind of security inside your Azure subscription, or for any kind of resources, or any kind of on-premise environment as well, or maybe you're running in a hybrid environment, you can take advantage of Microsoft Defender for Cloud, right? Microsoft Defender for Cloud fill three vital needs of as you manage the security of your resources workload in the cloud or the on-premise. It can do a continuously assessment, it can do secure, and it can also do the defend from the threat which is coming on the your resources. So it's overall a tool, or it's overall, I can say, is a combination of multiple tools which allows you to give the vulnerability reports, also give you the benchmarks, or I can say give you the recommendations. Accordingly, you need to basically fix those recommendations to secure your environment, and at the end, it also basically give you the defense system to defend all of the attacks which is coming onto your Azure resources. So this is how your overall monitoring looks like. So you can monitor your Azure resources with the uh, Microsoft Defender for Cloud, but at the same time you can extend that, and you can take the advantage of monitoring the other cloud resources, maybe in AWS and GCP. And at the same time, if you have resources running on your on-premise, you can monitor them as well using the this Microsoft Defender for Cloud, right? So this is how your 360 view looks like when you are integrating your other services with the other cloud and from your on-premise resources as well. Like, next is the management and the workload protection. So Microsoft Defender for Cloud feature cover two pillar of the cloud security, the cloud security posture management and cloud framework protection. The first is known as a cloud security posture management. So in this section, basically this tool provide you a two kind of features, or two kind of methods. Like, first is a visibility. It's basically help you to understand the current situation of your in your environment, how exactly your security look like. And the second is hardening guidance. It's help you to effectively basically implement the security, give you the recommendation, and at the end it also help you to improve your security and security score inside the Azure. Now, second one is cloud workload protection. So Defender for Cloud offer you the security alert that provide by Microsoft Threat Intelligence. It also include a range of advanced intelligence protection for your workload. These protections are provided through Microsoft Defender plans specified to type of the resources in your subscription. So in the first section, which is a CSPM, in which it's going to give us visibility, it's going to give us the guidance through which we can put the security, or we can improve the security. In the second one, which is also known as a cloud workload protection, it's help us to basically uh, protect that environments, or protect the workloads through the Microsoft threat intelligence. And all the attacks which is coming on any kind of resources inside Azure, like a VM or storage account, or maybe the containers, it help us to mitigate those kind of attacks as well under the CWP. Cloud sorry Microsoft Defender for Cloud, also known as a security center, basically is in two modes. one is the free and another one is the paid mode. So free one is basically without enhanced security features. You're not going to get any kind of enhanced feature. You're just going to get the basic score and the basic recommendation. But if you want to get enhanced security features with the Defender for Cloud, you'll need to pay for extra for that. And the prices for that is basically based on the resources which you are protecting inside the cloud for Defender, right? And that's something I'll going to cover in my next few slides. So with the enhanced security, you're going to get the Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, which is the endpoint protection for your system, vulnerability assessment for virtual machine, container registry, and SQL resources, multi-cloud security. You can extend it to the another cloud as well. You can take the advantage of hybrid security, threat protection alerts, track compliance and range of standards. So it Azure Security Center or the Defender for Cloud, which are both are the same product and known with the different names, also have a compliances which you can select, and accordingly they can track your environment, or they can basically give you the range of standard or range of the recommendation which you need to implement to fulfill that specific compliance requirement. Access and application control, container security features, and threat protection for resources connected to the Azure. So all of these enhanced features are including with the Defender for Cloud with the enhanced security feature, right? So for that we need to pay, and the cost in this case is going to be based on the resources, and all the resources have their different cost, right? Combination of environment, so we can have either only Azure, we can have either Azure to Azure and on-premise, or either we can have Azure and other clouds, or either we can have Azure, other clouds and on-premise. We can basically combine all of them together, or we can use the Microsoft Defender for Cloud to protect or do the assessment for all of these environments, right? So at the end we can take the advantage of running this in hybrid environment, or we can basically extend it to the another cloud as well, like AWS, GCP, or maybe we are using the Alibaba, or maybe we are using the Oracle, or we are using the IBM. We can extend it since it's the agent based. We just need to install Azure Security Center agent on the VM, and it will be automatically get connected with the security center, and then we can basically take the advantage of Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Like how the cost looks like. So Microsoft Defender is free for first 30 days. As soon as you enable the Microsoft Defender for with the secure enhanced security feature, it's going to be free for first 30 days, but after that it's going to be charge you for based on the resources which you are going to be protect. So if you are going to protect the servers, API, app services, uh, SQL as a platform services, MySQL, Postgres, storage account, Kubernetes, ACR, container, Key Vault, all of them are can be protected. And if you see, all of them have their different prices. So if you see with the Azure App Service, you will be going to pay for 0.021 cents for per instance. And at the same time, if you see, if you want to basically protect the server, you will going to pay is zero point 0.0 cent per hour. So that's how the charges looks like. So they are basically based uh, on the services which you are protecting inside the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Well, let's quickly jump to the demo. So in the demo, going to show you a few options which you can use in the security center or Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and how you can use them, and how you can enable the enhanced feature for your Microsoft Defender for the cloud inside the Azure, right? So for that, let's quickly jump to the Azure portal. Right, so I am already logged in with my one of the user, which is my test user, right? So if you see, you can search for Microsoft Defender for Cloud from the search bar, or either you can go to the all resources, not to all resources, sorry, all services, and uh, here you can also search for that, right? So let's search for Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So here's the first option, right? Microsoft Defender for Cloud. But you see, you do have another option, Microsoft Defender for IoT, which is in a preview, but we'll be going to cover those things in the later on as well. Sorry for that. So let's quickly click on this, and as soon as you go inside this option, it will be going to ask you either you want to enable the Microsoft Defender for enhanced security for this subscription, or you want to use the basic version. So I do have option to upgrade, or I do have option to skip this as well. So let's quickly upgrade this one, because I do have a resources inside the subscription which I want to protect, and it will be going to show you what is the count looks like. So it will be showing you you have a two servers, and we not you, actually we have a two servers, and we have a two storage account in the inside this subscription, where the in which we are enabling the Microsoft Defender for cloud. So let's quickly upgrade this one so that we can take the advantage of the enhanced security, and then we just need to click on install agent. As soon as this is done, it's going to install the agent on the VM, and accordingly it's going to give us the all the required you know information, like how many resources has been assessed, how many recommendations are there, and what are the security alerts looks like, right? And for that, this is how your portal looks like. So in this one you can see what is your overall security uh, score looks like, what are the compliances you are looking for, or what is the regulatory compliance you have assist it through the Microsoft Defender for cloud. And then you can enable the Microsoft Defender as well. Let's say if you want to enable the protection workload, you can go ahead and enable the Microsoft Azure Defender for that as well, which I already did. But although it haven't I think it's not fully initialized, and at the same time it also allows us to basically protect our network through the firewall. That's something you can do. It can also give us the inventory. It can also give us the information protection, which is currently in the preview. A part of that, what you can do, right? So if you go click on get started, you do have options to basically upgrade your Microsoft Defender for cloud. If you haven't done, you can directly come here and you can do that, and then you do have option to install the agent, and then you do have option to basically see rest of the things, like if you want to add gain the tenant wide visibility, or if you want to configure the security policies, or if you want to add unknown Azure servers, like from the other cloud or maybe from your on-premise. For that, you just need to click on configure, and you need to create a workspace. You need to add that server in the log analytics workspace, and you would be able to connect them with the Microsoft Defender for cloud. At the same time, in the recommendation, you would be able to see what are the recommendation is there for your subscription, and all of this recommendation will be going to become here, and you can use those recommendations, or I can say you can use them to basically protect your subscription, or add more security inside your resources. In the security alert, you would be able to see what is your security alerts looks like, how many security alerts you have, when they have generated, or what are the severity for them. So you would be able to see overall informations. Even you would be able to see which kind of attack and from where that attack is coming inside the VM, or to the resources. You can see the inventory, you can see the overall inventory, how many resources is there, how many healthy, how many are unhealthy, how many is in the unmonitored status, or how many subscriptions are unregistered for Microsoft Defender for cloud. And then you can create your reports or a custom report inside the work group, like these are the predefined, but if you want to create your custom, you can take that as well. You just need to click on new, and you just need to add all of the metrics or all of the queries, or name here, and you can create your own workbook as well, which you can use for see the specific information, right? So these are the predefined. Let's say if you want to see a log4j or vulnerability status, which is a new for us, so it's going to be give us all of those informations here, and we can see what are the machine or what are the containers are basically like affected with this vulnerability. We do have a community options. So from here we can directly go to the communities, and we can request for any kind of features which we are looking for. We can go to the community blogs, we can go to the community form, and we can submit our questions, or if we are looking for any help. At the same time, under the cloud security, we will be able to see what is our overall score looks like. and what is the protection is looks like. So that's something we can do. In the regulatory compliance, we do have options like if we want to manage any kind of compliance or we want to expand uh, any kind of control, we can do that as well. We can manage the compliance policy. So we don't have any kind of policy here. We can add the policy, and we can enable what kind of sorry, not from here. We can enable what kind of compliances we are looking for, right? So that's something we can do, right? Or we can add a more environment now as well. So you can see now we have an option to add the AWS account directly here, and it will be automatically going to discover that account here inside the environment setting, and it will be going to show you how many resources are there and what is the defender coverage look like. And then you do have option to manage the compliance through which you can manage your compliances, and you can see what is the compliance, or what are the plans, or what are uh, the settings looks like for this defender for cloud for your specific subscription. And same way you would be able to do for the AWS account here, right? And then you do have option to manage the compliance policy. So if you want to manage the compliance policy, you can just click on that, and from here you would be able to manage the policies as well. And you would be able to see what kind of standards looks like. As of now, I don't have any standards, right? Because there is no resources. But later on, once this is fully, enabled for a subscription, we would be able to see the standard, and we can enable those standard for our subscription. We can see workload protections as well. We can see what are the servers looks like, how many storage account is fully protected, how many DNS subscriptions are fully protected, how many is not protected. So we will be able to see overall 360 view of our workload protection, and we can see if there is any security alerts or anything is there. And under the advanced protection, we would be able to see if there is any vulnerability assessment, any kind of just-in-time access, adaptive application control, or all of these things like IoT for security, file integration monitoring, network map. All of these things we can do, and we can see overall view of our workload protection. Now at the same time, we can see, or we can see overall our Azure firewall manager. We can see how many VMs, or sorry, how many, not a VM actually, how many virtual networks are fully secure, how many network have a DDoS protection, or how many virtual hub security we have enabled through our firewall. So that's something we can do, or we can manage directly from inside the Microsoft Defender Cloud as well. Ultimately, this is going to redirect you to Azure File Manager, from where you would be able to see how exactly your network looks like. And then under the management, you can enable your environment settings. You can add a more environment directly from here as well. You can enable your security solutions as well. So we do have a three security solution. Like if we want to add a Microsoft application gateway for web, or either we want to add a SIEM here, we can do that as well. All of these three are available as a data source, and we can integrate them directly inside the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. SIEM is the one of the important tool for logging and logging and analyze those logs. So it's a very quite important tool to basically integrate with the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. And we'll be going to cover one specific video on a SIEM, how exactly a SIEM looks like in the Microsoft Azure, and how we can take the advantage of that as well. And then we can do a workflow automations as well. Like if we want to add any kind of workload or automations, we can do that as well in case of specific alert, in case of specific recommendation, or in case of any kind of regulatory compliance standard. We can alert like what exactly the workflow we want to add. We just need to have a one logic app, and through the logic app uh, we can basically enable the, or we can create the workflow for this security center, right? And then if let's say later on you find you need to basically enable, or you want to change anything, any services for your Microsoft Defender for Cloud, you can go to the overview. You can filter uh, uh, for the subscription from the top, and from where you would be able to see uh, how exactly your subscriptions, or you can select the more subscription from there. And for then As soon as you selected your subscriptions, you can go to the environment setting. You can click to your subscription, and from here you can see how exactly uh, you can change the defender plans for your subscriptions. You can change for specific services as well. Let's say you already have a Microsoft Defender enabled for that, but you only want to use them with the VM, right? But what you can do for the rest of the services, you can go ahead and enable that from here as well, and this security center will be only going to enable for your VMs, or the defender for your for only for the VM. This is how you can control the resources from where and how, which are the resources you want to protect inside the Azure subscription. At the same time, you do have an option to enable the auto provisioning. So that's something you can do. So let's say if there is any resources has been created, do you want to enable the auto provisioning for that? That's something you can control from here. You can enable the check, like you want to have the auto provisioning enable, and as soon as the any resources has been created, it will be get automatically enabled for the Microsoft Defender for Cloud. At the same time, we do have options to enable the email alerts. In case of if there is any alert triggered, you can send them to the users as well. By default, it's going to send to the owner, or it's going to be, so you can select to the rest of the things, like either you also want to send to the contributor. So people who have the owner access will by default get the email notification from the security center in case of any alert. But at the same time, if you want to add a more email IDs, you can add in the additional email address section, and then you can select in which case, in which specific severity the alert will be going to trigger. Either it's going to be in high, either it's going to be in a medium, or either it's going to be low. So we don't have options to select all of them. We only have option to select one here. And then we do have options to integration. So we can integrate this with the CI/CD as well, and from where we can have a more uh, like vulnerability scan for CI/CD environment. Right, then the workflow automation looks like same and continuously export. So this is the one option where you can export your specific informations to the, maybe from the log analytic workspace, or maybe from the event app. So you do have a option to export the security recommendation, security score, security alert, or regulatory compliance. That's something you can do, right? Or you can select them to the log analytic workspace or the event app. At the same time, under the policy setting, you do have option to select the security policies, and which allow you to select a specific compliance or the policy which you want to enable for your subscription, or which is your target looks like, right? uh, okay, so it's, yep, this is the one. And then from here you can select sorry, so for that, go to the policy. You can select what is your default Azure policy look like. You can select for that, and then if you do have any other Azure policy created which you want to use for specific compliant, you can select that as well, right? So let this page get refreshed. So first you need to select the default assignment, in which we already have a 189 audit policies, and then we do have option to enable the industry regulatories, or either we can add our own custom initiatives if you want to do so. Like we do have a multiple options here, and then we do have a add to more as well, like if you want to add a uh, HIPAA policies, or either we want to get a CMC level 3, or either we want to add FedRAMP HM. All of these are basically policies are available which we can add inside our the Microsoft Defender for Cloud subscription, and then we can enable that for our resources. So we just need to click on disable. As soon as you do it, it will be automatically get disabled. To enable that, you just need to click on enable, and that's it. This will be automatically get enabled. At the same time, you do have other options, you can enable that as well. As soon as you did that, the compliances will be get enabled for your subscription or the resources which you have protected to the Microsoft Defender, right? And at the same time, if you come to the regulatory compliance, you would be able to see more information here, right? What are the audit reports looks like, and you can click on the audit reports, and you can download the audit reports for your environment. Like we do have all of this enabled for our Azure subscriptions, so you can download the audit reports as well. So these audit reports are basically from the Microsoft, so where you can see how exactly this Azure infrastructure looks like for that specific audit, you can download this one and then you can open this report and you can see what exactly inside the report, right? And these reports are basically for specifically for from the Azure environment or for the Azure backend data centers. All right. So, all right, we have completed our demo. So in the demo, we learned how we can enable the security center, how we can use the rest of the options like a recommendation, enabling the compliance, uh, m- like enabling the managing the environment, restricting the specific products or specific resources to be managed through the Microsoft Defender for Cloud, and we see how we can enable the regulatory compliances for our resources, right? In this demo. I hope you like this video. If you like, please click on like and subscribe for more upcoming videos. And feel free to reach us in case of if you need any help, right? That's all. Thank you.